Jon M. Chu is one of those directors that knows how to make a movie feel big. His production is huge and the stars feel like they are like top tier A+ stars, even if they're not. He has also done a range of movies, from a few Step Up movies to a G.I. Joe movie to even a couple Justin Bieber documentaries. It wasn't until his last movie, Crazy Rich Asians, where it seemed like he was stepping in the right direction. So after that movie came out, people, including myself, were pretty curious to see what he was going to do. Was he going to do a sequel to Crazy Rich Asians? Was he going to do like a different rom-com? Or was he going to do another action piece? Well, this time we got a musical. And once again, Chu has brought basically what we can expect from any other Chu movie. Big production and actors with a lot of charisma. This time, he's got a pretty solid story. And while we're at it, go ahead and just, add the original playwrights and the composers to the screenplay. And then boom, you got In the Heights. I am typically not a big fan of movie adaptations of musicals. I can see what they're going for, but sometimes they just don't hit the potential that they're trying to aim for. But In the Heights tries to reach that potential to be something great, and I think it mostly succeeds for this movie. One of the things that works best for Chu is that he knows how to film dance moves and choreography so well. To me, filming dance is kind of like filming action. You need to understand the movements and you need to work the camera around those movements to make it flow well. And Chu succeeds this at a very exceptional level. The camera movements help the visual storytelling during the musical pieces. At times, the camera movement helps give this classical old Hollywood musical feel. And then other times, it's shot like a modern music video. The cinematography is a part of the choreography in this movie. That's why it's used so well. I think it blends completely well with the type of music that we're seeing and listening to. I also have to give credit to the dancers in this movie. They do a lot of different types of dances, from modern dancing to some break dancing to good classic Hollywood stage production type of style dancing, and then salsa as well. Even though it looks like it's a lot of work, I can tell that everyone was enjoying what they were doing. It looked like they were having fun. Anthony Ramos plays Usnavi, who is our lead in this musical, and that is just perfect casting. Part of it has worked so well because he has worked with Miranda, who wrote this musical. So that means he is already understanding how Miranda performs. He's familiar with his music, but he still gives it his own spin as well. Also, it helps that he did play Usnavi also on stage for a decent amount of time. So he's very familiar with this character already. Corey Hawkins plays Benny. He is one of Usnavi's close friends. Everything I've seen him in previously before this is completely different from what he's doing in this movie. It seems like it's brand new territory for him, and he's clearly enjoying it and doing a great job. His singing, which I hope it's his real singing, is pretty good. His dancing is pretty smooth. He's got a nice flow going on. I enjoyed it. Melissa Barerra plays Vanessa, and she has these big dreams to become a huge stylist and become popular based off of that, and eventually move out of the Bronx. She's done mostly Spanish-speaking roles, so this is the first time I've actually seen her in anything, and I was quite impressed with her. Her music is more so singing, so there's a nice balance between her stuff and between Ramos whenever he raps or anything like that. Now, Lin-Manuel Miranda did write the musical, so I was expecting him to show up in the movie, and he does show up in the movie. He has his own song. It's something. I think we just need to come to terms that Miranda doesn't have to act in everything he writes. So that's all I'll say about that. Pretty much all of the music in this movie is energetic, and they are heavily influenced by hip hop and salsa. It's two genres that work well together, and I'm sure they have been done before by other bigger artists. So it's probably not entirely new. However, the performances really helped the songs in this movie. As you can expect in a Broadway musical, they make sure they express emotion and they tell stories as well. They further the plot. Well, this movie certainly does that as well. It does a great job on telling a story for most of the characters, and they give us history. They show us passion and culture and dreams, as most should. Paciencia y Fe I hope I said that right, is one of my favorite songs in the musical. I think it is a perfect example of talking about culture, history, and telling a story about a character all in one song. And the context behind it is very like bittersweet as well. I obviously will not spoil it, but it is quite moving to me. But also the visuals, the lighting, dancing, and editing, production, everything behind this song is just impressive. And it's like, this is exactly what I was hoping to get from a movie like this. And that's why I think it makes it one of the more memorable songs for me. It's also probably one of the only songs in this musical that really goes deep into the emotions and the like writing aspect of songwriting. I wish the movie did have more of that, but it actually turns out a couple of the songs from the original stage production were cut from this movie. From my knowledge, seems like there were several things that were changed in this movie. One example is our character Nina, who's played by Leslie Grace, who decides to leave Stanford after not feeling welcomed because of her race and culture, whereas in the stage production, she left college just because she couldn't afford it. Now also, the original musical came out around the time when the recession was happening, so obviously the recession plays a big part into the musical there, whereas in the movie, it's set during present times, so the recession isn't a thing in this movie. There are more so themes of gentrification and stuff like that. Nina also doesn't have a mother in this movie, which means one of the mother's songs were cut in the movie as well. Some people have said the mother song had one of the best songs in the musical, which I guess I can believe. However, I think cutting the mom added a stronger bond and relationship between Nina and her father, who's played by Jimmy Smits. So it seems like both versions are trying to fit in with their current times. While I do enjoy the movie, I feel like we cannot ignore the controversy about this movie, which is the lack of Black Latinx people in this movie, since it is set in the Bronx. I feel like there's a lack of authenticity about the city of Bronx if you do cut Black Latinx people from the movie. You can't argue like, well, Ethan, it's a musical, like, you know, they can do whatever they want. They sing and dance whenever they want to. And you're not wrong, but if you're gonna make a movie about Latin culture and you decide to cut a big attribute from that culture, then I feel like you're not entirely acknowledging it. Now, this problem doesn't ruin the movie for me. I still enjoy the movie. Kind of shocked they didn't like think about this like halfway during the movie. Not even halfway, even like when they were like doing production. A big focus of the movie is Latin culture. The movie shows culture through, you know, visuals, costumes, food, dancing, music, all of it. And it makes the movie feel entirely vibrant and colorful. Now, the movie attempts to make points about what it's like being a dreamer or themes about gentrification. I appreciate the story trying to incorporate these topics into the story. However, I feel like the movie is only like scratching the surface with these ideas, and they don't go as deep as I would like them to. The gentrification stuff is only brought up a minute amount of times, and the subplot of Sonny, who's played by Gregory Diaz IV, being a dreamer is very little. It plays out in the end, but I wish the movie just told a little bit more about the struggles of the people that are dealing with this situation. The movie also has some pacing issues towards the end. It feels like a lot of the conclusions happen too fast and they end abruptly, because it feels like the characters will sing a song and then that's it. Maybe the movie would have been longer, or maybe it was cut, but the last like maybe 20 minutes just feels like an ending for like a few specific characters, and that's it. And then everyone else is just kind of like, all right, goodbye. Despite the problems I had with the lack of diversity or the themes that aren't as deep as it could be, and even though I think the pacing is a little too fast at the end, I still enjoyed the movie quite a bit. The camera movements are slick and they go really well with the choreography. The production is really astounding to look at. The editing feels a little creative at times and it doesn't feel too bombarded or over the top. I enjoy all of the performances. They're all fun to watch, even though Miranda's a little annoying just because he forces himself into it. It's a solid movie. It's got some good music and a good story about heritage. While Chu still has problems with diversity and making some characters feel a bit more human, he is clearly improved as a filmmaker. I think this is definitely an improvement compared to Crazy Rich Asians, though I might be in the minority here. And I really think he's starting to find his groove. His next movie is going to be an adaptation of Wicked, which is like a completely different territory compared to In the Heights. So I'm really curious to see how that goes. Anyway, I'm gonna give this movie a 7.8 out of 10. All right, well, thank you so much for watching this review. Did you watch In the Heights? Did you like it? Did you hate it? Or did you think it was okay? Just let me know down below in the comments. Let me know what I should review next. If you like what you saw, please like, comment, subscribe, share, hit the bell, do whatever. So yeah, awesome. Well, again, thank you guys so much for watching this. Make sure you exercise every day and make sure you drink your milk and have a great day.